Hey guys, long time no see. I know. I know. I could make any excuse in the world, wouldn't even matter. But today I'm going to do what month did we just get out of? March? March. March. Yes. My brain, don't ask. Yes, I'm doing my March wrap up and I'm very proud of myself. I read 7 books last month. I don't know how I managed to get through 7 books, but I did. I'm very happy. And I only actually read 2 physical books because I've really been getting into ebooks on my iPad and stuff. Like, I've downloaded a ton of books. Like, I've bought a ton of books on my iPad. It's ridiculous. Like, I have a lot of books on there that I'm just like really into and stuff. But anyways, so the first book I read last month was Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I really loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. You know, it's really great contemporary road trip type of book. So if you're into either of those things, you should definitely pick this up. It's really good. Great way to start the month. And the second book I read was an ebook. It was a book for review. It's called Fault by Amy Ellis. And I gave that a 4 stars, I do believe. And I wrote a review about it. And I'll more than likely post every review that I did on whatever books that I did reviews on. That probably didn't make any sense. But I'll post the reviews for them on my Goodreads down below. But I did a review on that. I gave it 4 stars. It was good. It's a book written in verse. And I don't really tend to lean towards books that are written in verse. But that one made me kind of want to go out and read more books like that's written in verse. Like Ellen Hopkins. I've never read an Ellen Hopkins book. I know. I'm horrible. I know. I need to get on that because that book was really good. And the next book I read, oh, I love this book so much. It is Unravel Me by Tahari Mafi. This is the second book in the Shatter Me series. And I gave this a 5 stars, but not because... Okay, let me backtrack. I gave this book 5 stars mainly because of Warner and Kenji. I love Warner, and I love Kenji, and those two made this book for me because I really don't care for Juliet and what's his name? He's so boring. What's his name? Adam. Hey, you guys knew what I was talking about. Don't really care for either of them. They're kind of weak characters to me. I know. I'm sorry. But Kenji and Warner got this a 5 stars for me. It still reminds me of X-Men, but that's not a bad thing because I love X-Men. But I read that. And the rest of these were all ebooks. And then after that, I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Mortal Instrument series. And I gave that 3.5 stars. And just like, oh, and Unravel Me I did a review on. I'll link it below. And I did a review for City of Bones as well. I'll link it below. But, I don't know. I just was not... Like, the world building, like, the world of City of Bones is amazing. Like, Cassandra Clare, like, you can tell she put her everything into building the world. But the characters of Clary and Jace annoyed the crap out of me. They did. I'm sorry. They annoyed me so much. So, I couldn't... And then the story bounced around from point of views a lot, and I got confused as to who I was supposed to be, like, whose point of view I was in. It just 3.5 stars, but I will be continuing the series because, like I said, the world building is phenomenal. It's amazing. So, because of that, I would definitely continue on with the series. And then I read First Frost by Jennifer Estep. It's point 5 in the Mythos Academy series. It's like the prequel before the series. And I only gave that one 2 stars. It was really weak. Not even gonna lie, it kind of it didn't push me to want to read the first book of the series, but I am going to, because I know it's just a prequel and it wouldn't be fair to just not read the book based off of the prequel. So I will get around to that series, but reading that just kind of, I was like, I'm not in a rush now, like, to read the series, but I will get back to that series eventually. And then after that, I read Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This is the first book in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. Oh my gosh. You guys, I think I have a new series that I'm obsessed with. That book is phenomenal. It is amazing. It's, no words can describe how good that book was. It was a definite 5-star for me. Wow. I think I'm definitely obsessed. And I've only read the first book, but it was amazing. And then after that, the last book I read was Destroy Me. I know I read that after I read Unravel Me, but it is 1.5 in the Shatter Me series, so it comes after Shatter Me, but before Unravel Me. But I didn't buy it until afterwards, and I read it like the day before yesterday. So yeah, I read that, and it's all told. It's told through Warner's point of view, and it's after Shatter Me, and I'm not going to give anything away just in case you haven't read Shatter Me and you don't know, like, the scene that pretty much caused the book. Like, I'm not going to give anything away, but that, I loved it because I am obsessed with Warner and his psychotic self. I love him. I love him. I adore Warner, and I have a review for that as well. It's not really a review, it's just more of me saying how much I love Warner. But either way, I'll link it down below. I gave that a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it, and I really wish that the Shatter Me series was written in Warner's point of view, but whatever. And so I actually do have a TBR list for this month of April that I do plan on sticking to, because I just really need to get this book out of the way. Like, I've had it for like almost a year now, and I have not read it, but where did I put it? Oh, fail. So, for the month of April, I'm planning on, like, on the TBR, there's a definite 3 books that I'm going to be reading. Definite 3. And then whatever, like, once I finish with these books, then whatever else I read, then I'll just add that as I go along. But these books I'm setting myself on, and the first one is Divergent by Veronica Roth, the first book in the Divergent series. And I've already read this book. I read it, oh gosh, early last year, but I'm rereading it. Like, I don't know if you can see that. I'm about that far in. I'm rereading it so that I can finally get to the sequel, Insurgent. But before I read Insurgent, I have Free 4. Tobias tells the story of the knife throwing scene or something like that. That's a little novella between these 2 books. I have that on my iPad, so I'm gonna finish reading Divergent, then read Free 4, and then read Insurgent. So those are the 3 that I'm definitely going to be reading this month, and then whatever comes after that, who knows. But yeah, that's all I got for today, you guys. I'm gonna go film my March favorites, so stick around for that. So until then, bye guys.